So as I was saying that weeds come to plants for important things that it needs to develop properly, such as there's the space, the light, water, and nutrients, and therefore it will affect the quality and the quantity of the crops that is produced. It also, weeds harbor pests that can affect the crop, also producing chemical substances which are considered toxic to plants, the crop plants, animals, and humans. Other pests can also cause great crop damage and loss, increase the cost of production in terms of the expenses to manage pests, and of course, reduce the profits. So these are all reasons why we try to manage pests. So in managing a pest, I should note that it is very important to identify which pests you're actually targeting, right? So the first step in an IPM program is to identify the pest. And once you have done that, it is just to come up with the combination of measures. Now, I should also mention that no one strategy, no one management technique will reduce a particular pest in population significantly. It is always better to use multiple approach to target or try to manage a pest population. And here is where we are with integrated pest management. So integrated pest management is the use of a combination of measures, which includes mechanical, cultural, biological, and chemical methods to reduce pest numbers and crop damage or loss. Now, the aim of IPM is not to get rid of the particular organism off the face of the earth, right? It is to keep or reduce the population at a tolerable level so that the farmer who is producing the crop can make a profit from his investment and lose less of the crop to as it is. Right? So integrated pest management, remember, not just one strategy, but a combination, multiple strategies together in the management of a particular pest. All right, so going through the different strategies that are involved in integrated pest management, we're looking at the physical and the mechanical methods. And this is where you use traps or tools, equipment, machinery to target pests. Now, traps like your pheromone traps, your light traps, your yellow sticky traps, baits, these are all traps that we use to target, to trap different species of pests, right? The first one that you're looking at the top, this one is what we call like a Jackson trap. We use this a lot in monitoring our pest activities in Jamaica. Even those that are not present, we carry out surveillance for, like the tomato leaf miner, the Tuta absoluta. We use it for the Mediterranean fruit fly surveillance, right? We all, and I think you're familiar with the traps or the management of the beech armyworm. Trapping is also very important to managing that particular pest. So we can either use traps for monitoring the pest, or we can use it for just managing the pest, right? So I should mention pheromone. When we talk about pheromone, we're talking about specific scents that is captured from the targeted organism. So for example, it's normally the female scent that is used. So it can either be the male or female of the species, Normal, all right, so for the beets armworm, we use the female scent, and it is the scientists, they would infuse this scent, and this scent is what is really, is what attracts the opposite sex, right? So the scent attracts the male, and it is infused into this rubber septum, and it is placed into this trap setup, and the males of this beta worm is attracted to the scent from that rubber, right? And when they get there, they are trapped, as the name suggests. They're either stuck to a sticky surface or they are drowned in water. So that is how these traps work. The light trap now, it attracts a lot of insects. And if you have ever observed at night, if you leave your door open around a light bulb, you will see a lot of insects because they are attracted to the light. And we take advantage of this tendency, this habit, to use the light as a trap. And it can be used just by itself or with and kill the insect with the use of electricity, just electric shock, or it can be used in combination with water, similar to the pheromone trap, right? On the lower left, you're looking at just a container with, and you'd never guess that is beer, and it attracts slugs and snails, and they are really attracted to the yeast present in the beer. And it's not the only thing that attracts that is used in terms of the snails and the slugs. We also use it for fruit flies because they are attracted to the yeast present in the beer. The yellow sticky traps, it cannot, insects tend to follow certain colors, and we take this to our advantage because it can either be yellow or it can be blue, right? It can also be green, but yellow is most common, right? So it has, it's really, as its name suggests, it has a sticky surface, and they are attracted to the color. So when they come to it, they're there and they get stuck on the sticky surface. Now, in terms of weed management, basically using the tractor or hoe, whatever implements you have to remove weeds is a good measure in terms of weed management. Basically using a hose with pressure to remove the insects from the plant is also a good measure. So anything can be used to manage pests under this classification, and because it is wide. Looking at other things, mulches. Mulches, you have different types. You have the plastic mulch, so normally gray, silverish, and it can be used to repel pests because it reflects light. You have the grass mulch, you have a ground cover, you have other materials, leaves, wood chips. All these things can be used to suppress pest populations or repel them. Mulch is used widely to suppress weed growth. Barriers. Basically, in this picture, you're looking at eggshells that is just used to surround a lettuce plant. And this will act as a barrier, especially for slugs and snails, because when they would not want to crawl over it because it will cut them. The picture here is just some cardboard that are used to cover the bases per plant. And what this does is to prevent insects like your cutworms from damaging the plant, because cutworms will just tend to snip the plant at the base and destroy them. As an exclusion measure, we use greenhouses or other protective structures because it will basically prevent certain pests from coming into the crop environment. All right, so they use netting at different sizes based basically on targeting the different pests, as well as it is a controlled or more of a controlled environment for managing pest problems. Hand picking and scare techniques. Now, basically removing the pest with your hand is an excellent approach. And use of scarecrows is no stranger, right? So these are some of the physical and mechanical methods that can be used.